So, I want to talk to you about what it means and what happens when you finally activate your sensual energy. Y'all hear me talk about this all the time. This is what we do here on Alcheminity. Alcheminity is alchemy with our sensuality. This is from Bon Dia. You probably have seen this before. I love it so much. It's so yummy. Let me show you. Sol de Janeiro by Bon Dia. This smells so damn good, y'all. Y'all are probably already on it. Everybody's kind of on that EOS vanilla cashmere. I loved it too, and I still like it. But this Sol de Janeiro from Bon Dia has got me in a chokehold. Okay. It smells so good. Every time I wear it, people compliment me. I'm walking past, people compliment me. First of all, we all have signature smells that work with our auric fields, that work with our natural pheromones, okay? When you wear smells that align with your natural pheromones, okay, you become more magnetic, you become attractive through your smell. You know, I always talk about even the way you smell can be healing to others. You ever wore something that meshes so well with your natural body pheromones, your natural auric field or your natural smell, so much so that when you walk past somebody, they compliment how good you smell. They just want to be next to you. They want to stand next to you, asking you what you're wearing. I want y'all to understand that your sensual energy, your eroticism, when you activate your sensual and sexual energy, people can smell your pussy. People can smell they think they're smelling just your perfume or what you're wearing, but what they're smelling is a combination of whatever it is you have in your body with the activated sensual and sexual energy that you've awakened. This is facts, right? People call it pheromones. This is facts. Anyway, let's get into this message. I hope this microphone isn't shuffling around too much, but let's get into this message. Listen, I've got some notes in front of me. Let me get my notebook. 1 second. So I got some notes in front of me. My handy dandy journal, my handy dandy Pussy Power Journal. If you haven't gotten yours, go ahead and get that. I know many of you have your copy of Activate. I'm so glad you're studying it. I'm so glad you're getting into it. But this is your next investment that you need to make, okay? As you're taking notes from Activate, as you're taking notes from the videos here on Alcheminity, use the Pussy Power Journal, okay? Get your hands on it, okay? Listen, if you feel guided to get it, get it. This is a reminder of what it is that you're activating and awakening in you. I'm not trying to sell you on the damn thing, okay? But if you know, you know. In the words of Erykah Badu, I believe it was Erykah Badu, okay? She said, writing is cathartic, right? Oprah said it as well, writing is cathartic, meaning when you write it down, it makes it real, it makes it true. It activates your sensual energy within you. So get your journal. If you already have a journal, fine. But I recommend that you get the Pussy Power Journal because what's written on the front will remind you of what it is that you're awakening. It will remind you of the sensual energy that you are activating. It will remind you that you are waking up your erotic power. Your erotic power is your mission and your purpose at work. Do you hear me? Let me read it to you. Pussy Power. We spell it a bit different here. POOS-E, okay? Noun. The ability to activate womb energy to heal, build, and fortify. I'll read that again. Pussy Power is the ability to activate womb energy to heal, build, and fortify. Okay? Here's a sentence that I included for you. She awakens and arouses the spirit of her yoni for more than just penetration. Okay? For more than just, all right? Not that we're excluding that part because if you know, you know. Listen, become a member over on Patreon. There's so many things I just can't say here. So that's why I created the members only on Patreon. So if you like the yummy, juicy, delicious, erotic deep dives, okay? If you are not sensitive to explicit content. That's where some of my most explicit information is, my explicit articles, photos, and videos. Okay. Now, the videos are for my CUM members who are cultivating and unleashing their magnetism, their mysticism, their magic, right? So if you want to become a CUM member, do that. That's where the explicit videos are. If you are an initiate, you'll get access to the articles and some of the explicit photos and things like that. So if that's enough for you, just become an initiate until you're ready for the CUM level. Let's get into this message. So I got some notes in front of me because y'all know I will go off on a tangent. So let's get into it. Listen, this is what happens when you reclaim your sensuality, okay? This is what happens when you reclaim your sensuality. You discover your erotic intelligence and wisdom as power, not shame. You discover your erotic intelligence and wisdom as power, not shame. For so long, we have been taught to feel guilty or feel ashamed, especially as women, of our sensual and sexual energy, of being in our sensual and sexual energy. We were taught that it's a sin, right? We were told that because you are magnetic and attractive, you are somehow this makes you a Jezebel, right? If you know anything about the story of Jezebel, you would know that Jezebel came from royalty. If you know anything about the true story of Jezebel, Jezebel came from royalty. Okay? Jezebel, all right, happened to be a beautiful, sensual, erotic woman that attracted men from near and far, maybe attracted women too, right? As you know, when you activate in your sensual energy, okay, you attract it all. Why? Because you're awakening your God and goddess energy. Who isn't attracted? Who isn't, attracted to God energy? Who isn't attracted to that type of light? Who isn't attracted to that type of dark? Who isn't attracted to that type of fire? Like moths to flames burned by the fire, you attract them all. The birds, the bees, trees, the animals, dogs, cats. Many of you have probably found cats by your door, meowing at your door because they know where to come. Bees may be drawn to you because they know who the queen bee is. By the way, sorry I didn't introduce myself. Welcome to Alcheminity, because turning pain into power is sexy. I am your host and creator of this colony and the many colonies we're building around our globe, hell, around our galaxies at this point. I am your queen bee here, Miss Burgess, if you're nasty, aka Nova, the Gypsy Empress. Listen, if you know, you know. Let's get into this message. I'm so glad to those of you who are newly subscribed here. Welcome into the colony. Again, if you like the yummy, juicy, delicious, deep, erotic dives, if you like it deep, if you like it deep, if you like it deep, then become a member over on Patreon. Okay, that's where our deep dives are. Let's get back into the message. So, okay, speaking of cats, right? Here at Alcheminity, we don't follow the white rabbit. We don't fall into the rabbit hole like Alice in Wonderland did. We follow the black cat. I wanted to go, meow. Become a member over on Patreon. There's only so much I can do here. Listen, we don't follow the white rabbit here. We follow the black cat. Speaking of, this image is an image that I love so much, this portrait behind me. I begged my mom for it. She finally gave it to me one day. And this is something that this portrait has been in our family for a very long time. And we pass it to the women in our family. If I had ever decided to have kids, which I've decided not to, if you know, you know, many of us decide not to have children when you activate in your sensual and sexual energy because you want to do more with the power of your pussy than just bring humans into the world. We haven't done so well with the humans we already got. Let's work with what we got first, right? Anyway, so Speaking of the black cat, this portrait behind me is so significant because it's a portrait of a vision that I've had of myself from past lives. She's in a temple. On her back is obviously a black cat, a black panther, who happens to be her liking and her protector. Okay. He doesn't play about her. I had an epiphany and a vision when I was meditating with this portrait one day. People who come and visit me, people who are very close to me, they come and visit me here at home. They always see this portrait and they say, "That's you." And I say, "I know. It was me in past lives." And they say, "No, that's you now." And I love when they say that because it is a me that I've activated now. As for many of you, we are bringing, or we're activating, I just heard bringing sexy back. Yep. But we are bringing back, is this still on? Yes. We are remembering and activating powers that we possessed and who we were and what we were doing in past lives. Yeah. And if you remember over on Patreon, you know that we have the Sacred Sex Goddess series over on Patreon. And this is where we talk about those of you who are remembering that you were sacred sex goddesses in your past life, in your past lives. However, but also what you're activating in this life, your temple is the body. Wherever you work, whatever you do, those are your temples, but your temple is your body. And in this life, as well as in past life, your work as a sacred sex goddess was people experiencing the power of your yoni, power of your womb, without even ever having to penetrate you. This is why this is written here, pussy power, because she awakens the spirit of her yoni from more than just penetration. Your sensual energy, okay, people can experience your pussy power and your sensual energy by the way that you sound, the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you smell, the way that you look, the way that you carry yourself. This is your pussy power at work. This is your sensual energy at work. This is why it's so imperative that you activate and awaken it, because your sensual energy is actually a part of your mission and your purpose on this planet. Do you know that the way that you smell, the way that you look, the way that you sound, the way that you carry yourself can empower someone? For those of us divine feminine energies who've awakened our sensual and sexual energy, do you know that you being in your erotic energy and your sensual energy, the way that you treat yourself, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you smell inspires men to want to be better and do better? Do you know that the way that you look, the way that you smell, the way that you carry yourself can end wars? There was a video that I saw. I'm going to get back into it in a minute. There was a video that I saw just yesterday. It's so powerful. And the fella said, this is Sasha, by the way. This is Sasha. Also, my liking, my black cat in past lives, his name was Sasha as well. Anyway, there's this video of this guy just yesterday on Instagram. He says, "Where are the witches at?" He asked, he said, "Where are the witches?" He said, "The world is crazy right now because you are not on your job. Get in your job, witches. Where are the witches? Where are my witches? All of these spells and stuff that some of you help us want to cast. Cast a spell to get the world back in alignment. Cast a spell to end the government shutdown." It's so hilarious. It tripped me out. I'm so sorry if y'all hear people outside there doing the lawn and doing landscaping and all that kind of stuff. They would want to do it right the fuck now when I'm doing my video. Oh, it pisses me off. They haven't been here all day. They want to bring their asses now, y'all. Okay, let me just get it together. Oh, it pisses me off. This is how it is sometimes, right? Anyway, but he's asking where the witches are. And so my question is, where are the divine feminines? Those of you who know that you were born with your spiritual abilities, your erotic abilities. If you want to cast some spells, bitches, cast some spells to get the world back in alignment. Cast some spells. I wouldn't necessarily say to end the government shutdown, right? Because you know what's interesting about the government shutdown is that many people actually prayed for the government to be shut down back in the 1970s. Y'all been praying for the government to shut down shut down for years. You wanted to defund the police and all this kind of crap. Don't defund the police. Okay, we need them. All right, because if Tyrone them come busting in this house, who we gonna call? Can't be the Ghostbusters. Anyway. Listen, okay, use your powers to help the planet. Use your powers to grow some shit. Some of you heifers out there using your powers to try to attack other women because really you're not in your power. Really, you're not in your erotic and sensual energy, because if you were, you wouldn't be in competition. You would be in collaboration. Let's keep going, y'all, because this is why I have notes, because I go off on a tangent. By the way, if you're just joining in, welcome into the colony. All right. Over on Patreon, that's our sensual sacred temple. So if you want to become a temple member, Mercury's still in retrograde, y'all. If you want to become a temple member, become an initiate or a come member over on Patreon. But we're working with our Pussy Power Journal right now. Got some notes in front of me so that I don't go off on a tangent again. Let's keep going. So what happens when you awaken your sensual and sexual energy? You discover again your erotic intelligence as power, not as shame. Again, we've been taught that eroticism and our sensual energy was something to be ashamed of, was something to hide, something to suppress, something to vilify, something to demonize. Why? Because there were certain energies in past lives, even in this lifetime, that couldn't take erotic energy. There were women who were using sex as a weapon. But once you activate your emotional intelligence, your mental health, and your spiritual abilities, and you remember, excuse me, am I showing a little too much? And you remember why you're here, why you've come to this planet, okay? You will get a shifted perspective about what your sensual and erotic energy is and what you ought to be doing with it that aligns with your mission and your purpose. Remember, your erotic energy, your sensual energy, your pussy power is meant to be awakened and activated to heal and to end wars. That is the intelligence you awaken when you remember your sensual energy. Let's keep going. What happens when you activate, reclaim, and remember your sensual energy, your sensuality? You stop performing sensuality and you embody it. There's a lot of women that perform in sensual energy. When I say perform, meaning they wear the masks as if they're truly activated divine feminine energies, but they're not. Sensual energy only awakens in divine feminine energy. It only awakens in those who are doing and have done the work in and on themselves on a mental level, on a spiritual level. You've gone on the dark night of the soul odyssey, right? There's nothing that you can put on your body. There's nothing that you can wear. There's no way that you can walk or talk, right? That will fool people into thinking that you really are this. Let me tell you something. Energy is real. I'm hearing India Irie. You see, the truth, it needs no proof. Either it is or it isn't. And you know the truth by the way it feels, right? You know energy, you know the truth by the way it feels. People can feel your erotic and sensual energy, and they know when it's real, and they know when it's acted. We're in the Aquarian age, and the Aquarian age reveals truths, right? You can no longer hide behind the masks. We could no longer hide behind the masks that we were wearing. Why? Because it was causing our own anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. Many of us were hiding behind this air of being these overly humble, shy women, when really we are these wild, erotic, sensual, divine, feminine women who have this energy that's supposed to uplift and heal others. Hiding behind this air of being Pollyanna, wanting to be everybody's friend and wanting everybody to like you, that has kept you stuck and stagnant, delayed, broken. I know it because I was that same way. Had I not activated into my sensual and sexual energy, Alcheminity would not exist. This YouTube channel would not exist. Patreon would not exist. This Pussy Power journal. Damn it, Mercury retrograde. Unleash my tongue. Leave my tongue alone, okay? It's not yours. It belongs to my man. Listen. Had I not activated and awakened and remembered my sensual and sexual and erotic energy and bringing that knowledge and wisdom up from past lives, okay? Pussy Power Journal would not exist. Our community would not exist. Patreon would not exist. You watching this right now, none of this would be existing if you didn't or felt called to remember your erotic and sensual energy. Are you hearing me? I'm so sorry if you're hearing that noise outside. It's distracting to me too. Let's keep going. Number three. What happens when you reclaim and remember your sensual and erotic energy? You choose routines and clothing and environments that literally turn you on. Remember, you being aroused, me doing this video right now is arousing to me. Me doing this video right now is arousing to me. It's arousing to me. It turns me on in more ways than one because I'm aroused in my mission and my purpose. You should be aroused. Whatever your calling is should make you horny. Whatever your calling is should turn you on in more ways than one. Your purpose should arouse you. Your mission should arouse you. Your calling should arouse you. By the way, do you like my pantyhose? Aren't they cute? I got them from one of my favorite stores, Spencer's. Spencer's is so much fun, isn't it? Oh my God. Spencer's is so much fun. By the way, Spencer's, you need to have my merch up in your stores, okay? You need to have my Pussy Power journals up in your stores. Yeah, you need to have my stuff up in your stores, by the way. But yeah, I got these from Spencer's. They're so cute. They're like a little garter. They actually go, I don't know if you can see. Let me kind of stretch down without showing too much. Can you see? I don't know if you can see that. They actually go all the way up to here and they wrap around the stomach. Aren't they so cute? I love them. Anyway, become a member over on Patreon. I'll show you just a sneak peek and then we'll do some practices around it. So what happens when you activate and remember, reclaim your sensual and erotic energy, which is in alignment with your purpose, which is in alignment with your powers, all right? You start to incorporate routines and wear clothing and be in environments that turn you on, right? Having these candles behind me turn me on. Having my Buddha sculpture behind me turns me on. Having my pink roses behind me turn me on, which were given to me by a very amazing divine masculine, okay? I've actually had them for a while. They are lasting longer than any flowers I've ever had. So they're these beautiful pink roses I decided to put behind me, the salt lamp behind me, the white candles, my Buddha, my Sasha plant, my painting behind me, me wearing this silk robe, which I love so much. Don't ask me what this says. I don't know. But it feels good against my body. Wearing these pantyhose that wrap around my waist feels good to my body. Me wearing my Pakistani Indian designed earrings feels good to my body. When you activate in your sensual and sexual and erotic energy, you start to wear things and create environments that pour into your well-being, that make you feel good, that remind you of who the fuck you are, that remind you of your pussy's power, that remind you to be turned on, that remind you of your eroticism. Right now, I am aroused. I want to say another word that begins with the T. Right now, I am, can't say so much on YouTube. Again, become a member over on Patreon, okay? Right now, I'm aroused and turned on. And why I'm aroused and turned on is because I'm excited. Arousal and being aroused means excited, to be excited. Okay. So the energy, my Kundalini serpent fire energy is aroused. It's turned on. It's excited because of the information I get to share with you here. It's excited and turned on and aroused because of this the way this silk robe feels against my body. Right? I can smell my vanilla candles burning behind me. Right? So you start to do things and create your environment in a way where it helps you to remember who the fuck you are and why you've come to this planet. It helps you to remember why you ought to be turned on and what it's for. Why should you be turned on? Why should you be aroused? Why should you be in your sensual and sexual energy? Why should you be erotic? Because it empowers you and those around you. You being attractive, you smelling attractive, you walking in a way that attracts people, the way that you sounding attractive helps to heal people around you as well as yourself. This is a part of your mission and your purpose. Let's get to the last one. What happens when you reclaim, remember, and activate your sensual energy? Pleasure becomes your guidance. Pleasure becomes your GPS. And for many of you, pleasure includes pain. The other day I was at the airport. For many of you, you know that I work as a flight attendant. And I was at the airport and my coworker, she saw my necklace, and it's a gold choker that I wear. And she said she thought she thought my necklace was longer. She thought it was pulled back. And she said, "Hey, is your necklace pulled back behind you?" And I said, "No." I said, "Oh, it's a choker." She said, "Oh," she said, "I like it." I was like, "Thank you." And my other coworker was there, and she was like, "A choker, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, because I like to be choked a little bit." And there was a male, African American male gate agent who was standing behind the desk at the gate, and he just chuckled, and he was like, he looked up at me. He said, "Mm." I said, "Why you say that?" He said, "That's not a bad thing." I said, "Oh, I know." We all just cracked up laughing. There were some passengers there. They laughed. I love to make, kind of risque jokes sometimes. It kind of helps break the shell and kind of break the atmosphere and makes our, passengers comfortable and stuff like that. So yeah, because I like to be choked. So when you activate your erotic and sensual and sexual energy, okay, pleasure becomes your compass. It becomes your GPS. And for many of you, pain is your pleasure. Certain level of pain. Become a member over on Patreon. Again, I can't say many things here, but for those of you that know, I love to wear chokers. Okay. For any of you that design chokers, if any of you designs chokers, let me know. I would love to collaborate with you. I don't have as many chokers as I'd like to have. I misplaced one of my black chokers. I'm so sad about that. So for those of you who design chokers, all right, reach out to me, Timmésha Burgess at gmail.com. We can do a collaboration. I'd love to do some affiliate collaborations and marketing for that sort of thing. So again, reach out to me if you design chokers, if you design jewelry, okay? Anyway, so yes, pleasure becomes your GPS. If it doesn't turn you on, if it doesn't arouse you, okay? If you're not throbbing, for my fellas, if you're not pulsating, it's not pulsating like a heartbeat. If it doesn't drive you like that, then it's not for you. It is not your mission. It is not your purpose. The alarm goes off. Okay? Okay? This is why you want to reclaim your sensual and sexual energy. Okay? You want to reclaim them because it's a part of your mission. It's a part of your purpose. You want to reclaim them because it helps to empower you and others around you. You want to reclaim your sensual and erotic energy because it helps to heal, build, and fortify. You can do more with the spirit of your yoni. There's more that you can do with the spirit of your yoni than just fuck it away. Boom, 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 boom. Hello, shouts out to Solange, right? Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with certain level of uh, intimacy, okay? But for those of you who are here around Alcheminity, you know that your sensual and sexual energy and intimacy, whether penetrative or non, okay, you know that you can turn your pain into power through your sensual energy. You know that alchemy happens through your sensual and sexual energy. You know that you commune with God via your sensual and sexual energy. Even if you are indulging with someone else, you working together with that person can awaken and arouse your sensual and sexual energy for more reasons than just one. Anyway, I'm going to end it right here. All right. I'm going to end it right here. Again, don't forget to get your Pussy Power Journal. You can get that on my website. All right. It'll guide you to where to get it. Also, for those of you who are inquiring, all right, in the beginning of the video, was putting on the Sol de Janeiro body cream by Bom Dia. It smells so amazing whenever I wear it. People love it, right? And again, remember, maybe the smell may not work for your pheromones, okay? It may not work with your natural auric field. When you activate your sensual and sexual and erotic energy, you are going to be heightening your natural pheromones. So make sure you find a fragrance that works with your natural pheromones, because when people smell you and you walk past them and they're like, "God, you smell so good. What are you wearing?" You're going to tell them that you're wearing this. They have no idea that it's your natural, sensual, and erotic pheromones that you've awakened and that you've activated in you once you do this work on a root chakra level. Once you awaken your sensual and sexual energy, they're not just smelling what you have on your body, they're smelling what's inside of you. It isn't all about what's on you, it's about what's in you. Ooh, what's radiating out of you. So not only are they smelling what's on your body, they're smelling your activated pussy. Oh, it's so true. It's so true. Anyway, for those of you who are ready to activate your sensual and erotic and energy for your mission and your purpose, if you're ready to do this work on a root chakra level, okay, if you're ready to remember your sensual and sexual energy, if you're ready to reawaken it, if you're ready to cultivate your beauty and your confidence, remember your beauty and your confidence. Because again, many of your missions require you to be in the public eye. You're supposed to be looking a certain way, walking a certain way, smelling a certain way. Many of your callings are to be models, pageant queens, speakers, singers, actors, dancers, performers. Your callings require you to be in the public eye. Maybe some of you are supposed to be marrying into royalty or something. You guys are going to be doing red carpet events. You're going to be out in the public eye where people are going to be seeing you because that's a part of your mission and purpose. If you don't activate your beauty and your confidence, you will not be equipped to answer your calling, thus remaining stuck in your body, stuck in your life, remaining broke, broken, skin broken out. If you're ready to activate your beauty and your confidence and your power from your pussy, raising that energy up to be crowned, reach out to me, okay? One-on-one exclusives with me are available for those of you who are ready for my one-on-one consulting. It's 4 weeks long. For those of you who don't have the time or don't want to make the full financial investment in yourself, if you're not quite ready for that, there is another option for a 1-day exclusive, okay? Or the 4-week immersive. Most people opt for the 4-week because in that 4 weeks, so much is happening, so much is coming up. Dreams and epiphanies are coming up. Your spiritual guides are speaking to you. I'm helping you to interpret your dreams. My mother's a powerful dream interpreter. So there's some deep dives that we do together in our one-on-ones in order to help you remember your confidence, activate your beauty, activate your sensual energy, and activate your erotic missions and purposes. Okay? If you're ready for that, reach out to me. Don't forget to become a member over on Patreon. I'll see y'all next time. Ciao.